and tight, can you see it? Streaming the truth live from where they decree it. Sylvia speaks, no filter, no buffer. Courtroom drama couldn't get any tougher.
When the gavel's first bang, to the witness stands tears. Sylvia's lens captures all your hopes and fears. Uploading justice one trial at a time. Tune in every moment, edges sublime.
Welcome to the Sylvia show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Welcome to the Sylvia show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Faces tell stories, the courtroom can't hide. Sylvia's insights cut through the divide. From jury talks to the lawyer's secret. In Sylvia's world, you know you'll need it. Behind the scenes where whispers are loud, her lens reveals the truth in the crowd. Courtroom secrets laid bare to see. Stay curious with Sylvia Spree. Every objection, every sharp retort, Sylvia's there to give you the report. Exclusive footage no one else can snag. From catchy headlines straight to the tag. Welcome to the Sylvia show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Welcome to the Sylvia show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show.
Faces tell.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I apologize. I was caught up on the phone doing something and I didn't realize the time was up. I was here. All right. I know some of you guys, I know you guys have not heard from me saying with R. Kelly's updates or in a while. Well, someone contacted me and they were like, can you please let me know what's going on R. Kelly's case, because they were interested in it. And then I said, okay, let me go check and see what's going on. I haven't checked in the Pacers file in a long time, right? So I did find some stuff for you guys that are interested in he said his music has been resurfacing. Janae said a lot of his music has been resurfacing, going viral lately. Yeah, there's some information that I got, some updates I got in regard to him. You know, I have not talked to him, but I know individuals who have gone to see him a couple of times and they have shared some things with me. But as far as his case and stuff like that, I do want to bring to you guys' attention. I seen something really not good in regard to his sentencing time. When he went into the hole, because he went into the hole and it had to do something with having the warden number when the warden was retiring. And you know, someone was saying that most of the inmates have these numbers when someone teaches a class, and I guess the warden had taught a class and he gave his numbers out to the inmates, and they have found the warden phone number in Mr. Kelly's possession, and so he ended up going to the hole for that incident. So because they were trying to find out how did he get it and all this kind of stuff, but it was nothing that was like out of the ordinary. It's something that happens. They you know, the wardens give their phone numbers out. I mean, not the warden, but the people that teaches the class gives their phone number out. So he ended up going into the hole. He didn't go into the hole not once, but a couple of times recently in the last within the last year. He went in the hole a couple of times. So now he is out of the hole. He's able to get calls and things like that. But here's the thing. When I looked at the MDC's, not the MDC, the BOP's website, it had a release date of 2045. I just got back, and guess what, y'all? They have increased his time. He has longer time now. Look what the data's on there now. It's 2046. January 2046. They have given him extra months, a couple of months extra. So him being in a hole and being in trouble a couple of times has increased his time in Butler. You guys see that? All right, that's one part of the update that I wanted to give you guys, right? And then the other thing, he's supposed to have a hearing tomorrow, y'all. He's supposed to have a hearing. Let me bring that up for you guys. Hold on. Let me bring that document up. He's supposed to have a hearing tomorrow. It's supposed to be over the a call, but they have let me just read it for you. Hold on a second. Let me just read it and tell you what it says. Okay, hold on. Let me read it for you. His original date for the hearing was supposed to be tomorrow at 9 a.m. But the date has been changed to the 17th of April instead of it being tomorrow. Originally, it was tomorrow. It was supposed to be tomorrow at 9:30. And it was supposed to be room 2325. And he was supposed to be there in person. They're requesting his appearance. So it cannot be over the phone. He has to be there. And I don't think the BOP was trying to transfer him. And the judge required him to be at the hearing tomorrow in Illinois. He was supposed to have been there tomorrow at 9:30, and it seems that they're not paying for him to be transferred over. So now the judge has ruled for him to be there. Let me show you what the judge says. Hold on a second. Hold on, let me bring it up for you guys. So anybody who is interested in going on the 17th, he will be in court, and I'll give you guys the information for you guys to go and be there. Okay? All right, here we go. And this is that case that he has against I guess a civil case, right? It says this docket entry made by the clerk on Friday the 3rd, 2026. A minute entry before the Honorable Martha M. Paycold as to Robert Sylvester Kelly at the request of counsel and by agreement on the 4/8/2026. Status hearing is stricken and reset for 4/17/2015 a.m. in courtroom 2325. Okay. Let me show you what the last one said, where they said he had to be there in person, because it got to be in courtroom. It's not going to be over the phone. The last one before that, he was on the phone. But let me show y'all. Hold on. Let me show you guys. Hold on a second. Let me show you. Well, let me bring the other one up. Okay, let me show you guys the last time they were doing it on a phone call. This is the number, so just in case y'all want to see what I'm talking about. Okay. It says that this docket entry was made by the clerk on Monday, March 23rd, 2026. Minute entry before the Honorable Martha M. Paycold as to Robert Sylvester Kelly. Telephone status hearing is set for, which is for tomorrow, right? 9:30. To join the telephone hearing, it gave the phone number. And y'all want to do this for next time, y'all could go 650-479-3207. And the access is 2310 276 7442. And you press the pound. But I don't think that's going to be it. But anyway, it says when prompted, the attendees numbers, and then it says person granted remote access to proceedings are reminded of the general prohibition against photographing, recording, and rebroadcasting of court proceeding. Violation of these prohibition may result in sanction, including removal of court-issued media credential, restricted entry to future hearing, denial of entry to future hearing, and any other sanction deemed necessary by the court. Mailed notice, right? And this is it here. So this is what they were going to do. They were going to do it by phone, but they wanted him to be there for the next one, which is on the 17th. They want him to be in courtroom 2304. Did we say that 2304? Let me just make sure it's the right courtroom. Hold on. I think it's 2304, right? No, 2325 is the courtroom for the next hearing on April 17th in Illinois. Okay. For those who are interested in attending. Those are the update for Mr. Kelly. Okay, y'all see the date that they increased his time at the Butler, and that's because of him having to be put in hold. He was placed in the hole a couple of times. I think from my understanding, he was been placed in the hole twice. And the last time was because of the phone number of the warden. They found the phone number of the warden in his possession, and they was trying to figure out how did he get the number. So, and that's one of the reasons why it looks like they pushed more time on him. It gave him a couple of months more. And while Diddy's getting less time, he's getting more time. Okay. Any questions, anybody? Anybody have any question? Anybody got questions? But he is not in the hole any longer. He's out the hole. Anybody who's in conversation with him will know that he's no longer in the hole. But he was in the hole. He was. Okay, my good people. Next, what happened? What did he do? Let me explain it again. He had the phone number of the warden, and they were trying to find out how did they get the just got here. Could you give us? It was very short. What is the court date? Court date is April 17th at 9:00 in courtroom 2325 in Illinois. You know the Dirk building, the Dirkison building, that one, the courtroom, that's where it's going to be. That is the Tasha K lawsuit. Yeah, that's the cut. But he's going to be there. They wanted him to be there in person. They're looking for him to be there in person. And they did not transfer him for him to be there tomorrow, because tomorrow they're supposed to be in court, but it didn't. It's not going to happen. So they stricken the time for it to be on the 17th. If anybody's wanting to see him, you probably would get a chance to see him at that court date on the 17th if they transfer him, because it's a cost to this. I don't know if they're willing to do that. I don't know. What's the purpose of the court appointment? It doesn't say. You said R. Kelly news. Yes, Tom K. Tom K is funny. Yes, that's R. Kelly news. And that's it, y'all. I was gonna do a quickie, and I said, because someone was asking me to do some R. Kelly update because they heard the Diddy, and there was a whole bunch of folks up in this chat, and it was typing free R. Kelly and stuff like that. And I said, okay, let me go ahead on and do an update. Okay. Any question? Haven't heard of him in years. Yeah, that's true. I haven't done anything on R. Kelly in years. I haven't done anything, in a while. At least 2 years. At least 2 years, because when I was doing YSL, and I haven't done YSL in 2 years, right? You're welcome, Tall Glass. You're welcome. I miss you too, Dom. I miss you too, Dom. Man, I'm choking. Lord Jesus. Lord. Dom, I just choke on my own spit. Because I'm about to say something bad to you, Dom. I was about to say something bad, and I just choked on my spit. I choked on my spit, Dom. But Dom, there. Oh my God. I don't smoke. I don't smoke. I just look, as soon as I said this is it, that people jumping off like quick. People jumping off quick. See, my throat is itching so bad. But anyway, guys, members, I got something I gotta share with you guys, members. We're gonna do a member, and I did not hit no blunt. I don't even smoke. Don't even try it. Members, I got something, I got something up my sleeve, members, for next for next week. And I gotta share it with you guys. You know what? I don't know if I want to do members. I gotta go with my peeps that I know, because stuff been slipping out from my membership, and I don't know if I want to share my stuff. Not yet. Oh my God, look who is here. Michael. Hey, Michael. Hopefully the status hearing on that day will be something great outcome of it as far as good news for R. Kelly. I don't know if it has to do. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But Bo Britley has been really, really, really working hard on his case. There's a lot of things that he's been doing, so he's not giving up. I haven't seen Michael in a long time. Hi, Michael. I had to put his notation up here, because Lord knows I have not seen Michael. Oh, look at who's here too. Claudine. What? What in the world's going on here? Look who's up in here. Claudine. McKay, look at who's here too. Lord have mercy. It's going to be pouring, thundering outside in a few minutes. It's going to be thundering and pouring, because all these folks up in here. They're all up in here. It's going to be thundering and... What happened to Bonjean? Oh, she's no longer on the didn't I tell y'all? Y'all thought I was lying. Whenever I used to bring stuff to you guys, y'all be like, oh, she don't know what she's talking about. And I was giving you guys information, but no, y'all wouldn't listen to me. There's some information I got now. I'm keeping it close to my chest. I ain't telling nobody. Yeah, Bonjean is gone. I mean, she's still working on some stuff, but she's gone as far as she's doing more of the what do you call it, the lawsuits type of stuff. She's still around a little bit, but she's not doing any of the criminal things. She's no longer on those cases. It's Bo Britley. R. Kelly true supporters. Brittany, you say R. Kelly true supporters out here? Okay, what was I saying? What was I saying? You made me forget what I was saying. We were talking about tell the members only. Oh, I'm going to tell you, Ruby, you one of my people that I know, so I could tell you some stuff. But some people, I ain't open up no back room for because let me tell you something about that back room. Folks be stealing your stuff. You're welcome, Kia. Hey, Kia. Kia's up in the house. Look at this. I saw you earlier. Kia, I remember the question I asked you. I'm good on that. I did get I got the answer to that. Remember when I asked you about the kiddos? Remember what I asked you? I'm good. I got it. Okay. You know what I'm talking about, right? I don't want to say what I'm talking about. You want to say what I'm talking about, right? Kia, you know what I'm talking about, right? I got it. The thing I asked you about. Nakia! Look at Nakia's in the house. Hey Nakia. I knew you would pop up when you hear R. Kelly news. Oh gosh. But anyway, y'all, I gotta go. And if I hear anything that's new and in regards to R. Kelly, I'll bring the information to you guys. I will give that to you guys. But as far as me like going in depth and stuff, I'm gonna stay clear of that. I'm gonna just report. I'm just gonna report and keep moving. Cause when you get a little too caught up, you get stuff happening, everywhere you go. It's like, ew. But anyway, when I get updated stuff, which I plan on getting some updated stuff, I will share it with you guys. Okay. I will share it with you guys. But who's going viral? Who's going viral? Somebody going viral? You seen what K. Michelle said about Kels? No, I didn't see. What did she say? Yeah, I'm sticking to that, Dom. I am sticking to that. I am not. It's enough that people already want to get you because they don't like what ruling that the judge do. Like the last case I was on, they didn't like the ruling and the judge. They were coming. I mean, you should see this whole page that they did on me, y'all. Y'all should see this page. I was like, and all of a sudden I work for Steel and all. I was like, Lord, do they know? Do they know the struggle's real? But anyway, you saw it, Pamela? Yeah, Pam, I'm telling you. Ooh, ciao. Oh, you didn't. Oh, Dom, I got to tell you what happened on that guy's case. The judge did a direct verdict, and he was. The whole case was dismissed. Whole case is dismissed. The whole case was dismissed, Dom. You said things that we already knew about Kells as far as case and parents. McCain, yep. Today Steele was in New York. Yeah, he was in New York. I didn't think he was until when Sean G told me he was up there. I did not know he was up there. I mean, Steele be all over the place, man. I was with him at the whole almost 2 weeks in Homer, Georgia, and then he's doing it. He stays busy, y'all. But Dom, you were, oh my gosh, Dom, did you hear what I was reading in that transcript? Whoo, child, Sean, Dom, I'm reading your message. I'm late, Sylvia. Yes, I know what you're talking about. My phone was on the counter. Yeah, okay. I just want to tell you, I did handle that. With who? Okay. I did handle that. Yep. Yeah, I'm McCain. I was hoping that, but I get to see Steele here anyway, because one of his cases just recently, the judge just denied the guy bond because the guy was on bond, and then him and his wife. It's a long story. The wife shot at him, shot his fingers off, and then he gonna lie and say he didn't know who it was, and it turned out to be the wife that shot him, because it was crazy. Okay, we're not talking. Let me move on. Oh, I haven't been on. I have to go back and watch. What's the title of the video? Oh, the title is State of Georgia versus Samuel Duffy. State of Georgia versus Samuel Duffy. That is the name of the videos. Look at the last one, or even the Oh yeah, let me go back to okay, McCain. Okay, let me tell you, it's a cold case, and this guy's name is Bobby Joe Cook, right? Allegedly he was dating this girl, right? This is back in 2005 or 2003, something like that. Well, the girl put out a TPO out on him. The girlfriend, he became an ex-girlfriend. She put out a TPO out on him, right? And so she ended up being missing, right? They didn't find her until like 3 years later, something like that. And the first person that they think did it was him. They found his DNA in her house. And so he was traveling somewhere, and there was some sort of police stop, like, when they do traffic stop, and they found out there was a warrant out, and that's how they arrested him. They arrested him in 2023. Oh, 2023, 2024. Okay. So Mr. Steele and Mr. Adams went to his first hearing, second hearing, and they gave him a bond, right? He was out on bond, y'all. He had curfews. He couldn't be around guns. He had so many things, right? Why does man go in? Not only did he violated the gun part, but he also allegedly he violated the he's supposed to contact the services, the people the bonding people, get permission for him to go out of town. He went to the concert. He went to a concert in New Orleans. Then he went to a casino in Florida without permission, y'all. He went out there without permission, and he ended up, the little monitoring thing was going off and stuff like that. So the judge said, "You think this is a joke? You think this stuff is a joke?" So they revoked his bond, and so he's spending time in jail now. And so since the state, what happened is Mr. Steele did a couple of motion, and he got some motion approved for suppressing some evidence, right? And the state did not like that Mr. Steele won on those motion. So they appeal the judge's decision to suppress some of the evidence. So it kind of made the court date, because they were supposed to go to trial last year in September. So they couldn't go to trial. So that's why they went back to ask for bond. But he's the one. Let me go back about the gun part. I guess him and his wife had a little spat, right? She pulls the gun out and shoots him in the hand. And so when the police comes, because his hand's bloody and everything, she hurry up and get out the house. When police come, he says he don't know who shot him. He said he don't know. He know his wife did it. He knows she did it. We don't know why she did it, but he knows it was her. He tells the police he didn't know who it was. The police was like questioning, because I read the transcript over on the live, and it's crazy. But anyway, but that's what happened with that guy. I'm gonna go do some lives on that particular case if you guys are interested, because that is a case I've been getting my Rule 22 and I've been covering that case. So and that's out in Gwinnett County. And once they get to go to an appeal, and once they finish their appeal, then the judge gonna make a decision on whether or not the judge did wrong in suppressing the evidence. So we'll see what happens. But that's gonna be good. And next week I have two cases I'm doing. You got Nesto's case, and then you have Cecil. Cecil's on the 15th, and I told you guys Cecil's case is gonna be a trial by the judge, by the bench. Who am I talking about? Oh God. Someone asked me about that guy, the case I was doing. We're not talking about R. Kelly. We finished R. Kelly already. We talked about him earlier. Yeah, so I'm mixing a couple of things in here. But anyway, so that is basically it. That's basically it. I was just answering somebody's questions in regarding the case that I was doing in there. So next week's gonna be a busy week. There's so many trials, y'all. So many cases that's coming up. Okay, you say you came in late. What's up, Dust Bowl? What's going on? What would you like to know? I'm on a answering question type of day for me tonight. Normally I don't do that. You know me, I'd be like, great, get off this live, but I feel like chit chatting for y'all for a minute. You new here, Dust Bowl? Welcome. I've never seen your name before. Welcome. Will R. Kelly ever be free? I don't know, but his attorney is working on his appeal, because you can appeal as many times as you want. You know that, right? As long as you have the money to file the appeal, you can appeal as many times as you want, especially in the federal. There's no time limit on those. As long as they allow it to come through, they're allowed to come through and say yes. You can appeal if you can bring some information that will help overturn your case. As long as you can bring some stuff that could overturn your case, like digging through your case and find out. If it's the same stuff, they'd probably be like, no, you can't bring it through. You said we need a team like Diddy had. He needs a team like Diddy had. Oh, absolutely, Willie Frazier. You're right. He does need a team like Diddy. Diddy had an awesome team. I don't know if she did too well today, y'all. Who is better? He was better. Who was better, him or Jennifer? As far as child. Ruby, remember I told you when I saw how Bo Britley handled the case, I was like, that was awesome. And he definitely trained McDavid how to answer the question. Mongoloid, we going. That's not true, Miss Sylvia. You can't appeal anytime you want to. You can't exhaust. No, you can if you find information that's gonna help. No, if you find come on now, Mongoloid. If you find information that was not shown before, you can appeal again. That's what I was told. With federal, I was told you can. That's what an attorney told me. So you been trying to say the attorney is wrong. Hold on. Let me make some phone calls to attorneys. Hold on. Let me make some attorney phone calls. It's too late. Ain't no attorney gonna answer my call. Sorry, nobody's gonna answer my call. That's gonna be a good question. Yeah. I didn't hear that. I did say that part. I said if they can. You know what? I said if they could find something that was like each time if they combed through the whole case and they missed something, right? Say they're going through there and they find out that one of the jurors was actually married to the, I'm just making up something right now. I'm just making up something, okay? They find out the juror was married to the person that was on the thing. They didn't disclose that. That would be something new that they didn't pick up before. I'm just making an example. That's not true. I'm just making up something right now. You know what I mean? Something that wasn't disclosed, that the juror was not honest in their answers. And update information related to the case should be able to be present. Yes. Because Nicole, something wasn't right about his case, and she knew something didn't make sense. That was his biggest issue. If R. Kelly had Diddy, let me go ahead on. If R. Kelly had Diddy's money, he would have either been free or gotten a much lighter sentence, more in the range of 15 to 20 to 10, 15. Let me also tell you guys something. Hold on. He didn't have the funds. You're right. All right, my bad. I didn't hear that. Mr. I would, maybe I was mumbling so much that you didn't hear that part. I'm gonna blame me on that part. But those who would hey Dwight. Dwight, you can't call me a stranger. You was just in here a couple of days ago. Dwight, you was just in here. Willie said he just needs the right lawyer. BS Rob got money. They just stole it from him. I think one of the things they were able to do was slow his money down when they did the Mute R. Kelly campaign. When that Mute R. Kelly campaign popped up, it kind of put him in a negative thing where money was going out, and then the lawsuits too. Hey, yeah, did y'all see Larry Hoover put in for petition for the board of release? Did y'all see that with Larry Hoover? What was you about to say about McDavid's lawyer? Oh, thank you, Ruby. As I was saying, Ruby helped me out. Thank you, Ruby. I was saying at the trial, McDavid's lawyer was the bomb. He was like pulling stuff that was like, and then what I was saying, he trained McDavid how to answer the question, because when McDavid was on the witness stand, you felt the stuff that he was saying. You felt it. You felt that he was like, you believe everything that, even if he told a fib, lying, you felt it. And he got a chance to get on the stand and tell his story. And that's what helped him out, I believe. That's why he came out victorious. He was found not guilty on all counts. So yeah, I think he did an excellent job. He was very good. He studied the whole case and he came out with some good stuff. Do you think P. Diddy going another appeal? I think he's going to get time shortened, because the way, this is my opinion. In my opinion, let me say it this way, because there's no answers of anything. I haven't gotten any crystal clear information. This is based on my opinion. The question that the judge asked, remember he's asked about, do you think the sentencing was excessive? And then the government was going all over the place trying to answer that question. And then he's like, you didn't answer my question. So do you think that the sentencing was excessive? And I was like, oh, okay, they're gonna lower his numbers, and he's gonna end up getting time served, right? Not true either. Kelly's evidence was more than Diddy's. It all depends on the evidence, not the lawyer. In the federal system, you can win with a public defender. Yeah, they got excellent public defenders now. They have excellent public defender. R. Kelly violated his rights. Yeah, R. Kelly should took the stand. He should have, but I don't know if he would have been prepared to answer because I think he would have got emotional. Because I think McDavid understood the assignment and how he answered the question. I think R. Kelly would have been too emotional. The twin had the same lawyer as Diddy and got convicted on all counts. We're twins. They really, it's really the evidence on feds cause lawyers in the feds are great. They are. Public defenders are good in feds. They are excellent. Because I know somebody who won. What's the name was a public defender for in R. Kelly's case, and he won. June Brown. He had a public defender and he won. I don't think so. I think they're gonna let Diddy serve his time. He got another 1.5 years. No, I think they're gonna let him out. Okay, you want to make a bet, Dom? Let's make a bet, Dom. Let's make a bet. Let's make a bet. Let's make a bet. You won the last bet, so let me rewind this, and so let's make a bet on this, okay? Did you hear what K. Michelle said on the interview with Jason? No. What did he say? What did she say? I didn't hear it. You said R. Kelly will serve 20 years. That's what you say. Okay. Dumb Kelly. He already got his appeal denied. Now Diddy, because of the acquittal conduct, I think he'll get reduced. I just said he'll get reduced. Dumb, you are mixed up. I said I'd make a bet with you. Now all of a sudden you trying to agree with me? The difference is R. Kelly charges with children. Pity Diddy not. You're right. Next level, yes. But keep in mind, R. Kelly has already served 6 years. No, he served more than 6 years, Dom. He served 7 years, sir. More than 6. Almost 7. 7 will be July the 9th. It will be 7 years. So over 6 years. He got another 12 to 14 before he'll be released. Okay. Next level. See sheets. Still, we can bet Diddy won't get time reduced. He'll serve the remainder time. Oh yeah, let's bet. Okay, let's bet. Yeah. Let's bet. Well, I'm going to bet, Dom. Y'all remember this bet that we got going on. Aaron and Alexandria. Oh, but do you remember their case is a little bit different? They're real estate twins. Okay. Wait a minute. They was on trial? Hold on. I didn't know that. I didn't know they was on trial. For real? I didn't know they was on trial. I'm not betting no money. Yep, anytime you have children involved, they will try to keep you there, especially when videos are involved. Yep. July 11th, thank you. July 11th, it'll be 7 years. Diddy will serve his sentence, meaning the judges won't reduce it. I'm telling you, they're going to reduce it. He already reduced some time already. He reduces like 2 months already. Yeah, they lost all counts in exact same lawyer. Really? I need to go check that out. Dom, it's a bet. We're betting. Okay, we're betting. Y'all remember this, y'all. Remember, Dom is betting me. I'm not betting him any money, but I'm betting him a win. We're not at July. No, you wasn't right. It's over 6 years. So you're not right. You're not right. You're not right. I'm closer to right than you are because he's way past a lot of months. He's closer to what I said. R. Kelly was with grown women. How they say he held them against their they will if they had freedom to leave intact in the video. You couldn't tell if the girl was underage. Just saying. That's what Willie Frazier said. I agree. I think Diddy will get reduced by a year for doing the drug treatment. He already got reduced time for some of those program already. No, he's gonna get reduced to the 15-month, and he's gonna be out because he's gonna have time served. Did you hear what the judge said? Did you hear what the judge said? Did you hear what the judge say, Dom? You didn't hear the question. See, don't talk if you didn't watch the whole thing. Okay? The questions that the judge was asking. Where he asked but you know I could play that part, you know that, right? I can go play that part where he asked the government. All due respect to Kells, but he was with minors proven. We all know all the specific. The parents were involved, this and that, but that doesn't stop the facts. Dom, you're about to get some people you're gonna get some people to beat you up in here. Leave our man, black men. You're about to. Yep, Sean G explained it well. He did, McCain. But Dom, you about to get beat up in here. That's why you get in trouble with the people up in here. See, I ain't trying to fight nobody. I'm just gonna stay. Let me shut up and mind my business and drink my water. I was covering the entire R. Kelly case, start to finish. He was with several minor. That doesn't make him a bad person. He just has issues. That's all. Tom said, "Sil, I don't care. I was covering it up. I was there covering it, and I know what's up." Oh Jesus, Dom, you better be lucky you hiding in behind the screen, because these folk gonna get you, man. They gonna get you. They're gonna get you. I'm just gonna drink my water. Mind my business. Drink my water. Hold on. He says, "Can't be mad at the truth. I still rock with Kels. He just needs help." He laughs. Strippers only had to be 18. You guys are too much. You guys are too much. Lord have mercy. What strippers have to be 18? What are y'all talking about? Great live, though. I haven't talked about Kels in forever. Okay. Yeah, I know why you haven't talked about it, because you've been in trouble with these folks. These folks gonna get you behind, dude. All right, let me get my butt off this live. Sylvia, did you see my boy? Oh yeah, your boy. Now that dude got issues. That dude got issues. He can't stay off the bottle. He cannot stay off the bottle. All right, Sean says, Kels was set up from jump. He had more haters than anyone could imagine. He wasn't going out chasing them girls. He was too busy making $1 million music. And JFYJ said, yes, he was set up. And Dom said Tiger can hire a driver but chooses not to. Still, it's not alcohol, it's pill, it's everything. Alcohol, pill, and all that. No, now you're gonna say it's painkiller. It's all of it. He had alcohol in him too. That's why his girlfriend said, nope, you can't do it. No disrespectively, no. No, he had some alcohol. Look at his face. Did you see his face? That ain't just pills. Did you see his face? That ain't not just pill. Maybe he had some pills and alcohol added onto it, allegedly. Allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly. But did you see his face in those pictures? Let's see. Hold on. 2, 3, 4 things can be true at once. Yes, R. Kelly was set up, but he also was messing with a few underage with consent of parents. Thank you, Sean, she says. They took Tiger Woods' blood and whatever, Dom. Stop trying to take up for that man. Dom, whatever. That man was drunk. Allegedly. Allegedly. Even if the count was low, it's still, we're mixing it with some pills, would still make it high. Diddy will be home within a month. That's what Sean says. Okay, Dom says his alcohol 0. Anytime you're arrested for a DUI, they have to take your blood, and no, they don't have to, because you can deny the request. You don't have to get them to do it. Tiger, you can't make them take the breath of whatever that thing. You can't make them do that. That's against the constitutional right. You can't do that. Tiger only had painkillers in his system. Dom. God said not to bear false witness against thy neighbor. I still rock with my boy Tiger. Allegedly. People going by what the news tell them. You can deny it at the scene, but once you get in the station, they have to by law. Dude saying anything. He is saying anything. Dom is just saying anything. He don't know. And you know that. I don't know that, because they can't force you to do. No, let me correct you there, Dom. They cannot force you to do anything in that thing. You have to sign off for you to. I know, I went to jail. You can, if I tell them I do not want any pills, I don't want them to check anything, you have to sign off, and they do not have to do it for you. That's the truth right there. So don't tell me. I know. They subpoenaed his prescriptions. Good evening for everyone coming in. Hey, Rosie. And I play Kel Shut Up daily. That's for Dom. Dom, shut up. Dom just. Yep, they sure can't. Let's do a Zoom. You want to do a Zoom? You want to come on in? Let me put the link in here. You want to come on up? Hold on. Let me put the link on. You cannot. I know. I went to jail. I know. They had to get my permission to take stuff, to take my blood and all that. They have to have permission. You can't just do it. And not in jail either, because you have a right. This one goes out to all the people running their mouths. That's for you, Dom. That's for you running your mouth. Okay, here's the link. Here's the link. Dom, you getting the people mad up in here. See, I told you I mind my business and just drink my water. I just came to bring the information to the people. I'm not fighting nobody. I had enough fighting all week last week. I am not fighting nobody. My fighting days are over. This fighting days are over. I am not fighting now one soul up in here. Dom, you got it all to yourself. Not fighting. I just came to give anybody that's want to know what I talked about before I get off this live. Do y'all want to know what I talked about? I talked about that Mr. Kelly time has gone up. I think the last time when I looked at it, it was November, I think, of 2045. And now it is January 31st, 2046. He says, where was the receipt of one of the girls said that she was harassed by Homeland Security? Johanna said they wanted her to lie on Rob and got the YouTube video. Okay. Willie Frazier said that. And Syl bet they won't hit the link though. They talk all that mess, folks, scared to hit the link. Ah, Jada Wooten. Jada Wooten is up in here. Um, you say they won't hit the link. You probably right. They probably won't hit the link. They won't hit the link. Okay, I am about to take my butt on down. Get off this live. You said Rob should get Diddy lawyer if she takes the case. Somebody hit the link. She hit the link. Hey, Jackson.
Hi, how are you, Sylvia?
I'm good. How are you? Let me show my
I'm doing
face. Since you're showing your
wonderful.
face. Hold on.
I know I look terrible, but I'm down for R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Robert. I'm down for Robert. I'll be glad when they let him loose from them dang on shackles they got him in.
Okay, I think Don probably wants to be the one want to argue with you.
Well, you know what? It doesn't surprise me. You know, as long as God's people always gonna have the devil trying to go after him. You know, so it doesn't surprise me. He has haters. You know, they can't be mad at him now, cause I ain't seen him. I hadn't been in no same room with him to say what he did. I feel like the stuff that they show on TV is not even true. I don't think it's true. Those silhouettes that they showed that he peed on somebody. I really think that R. Kelly got a little more sense than what they're trying to make him out to be. You know, so I just feel like they choose certain
But did you
individuals.
hear
Uh-huh.
her? Did you hear her book? Did you listen to Rashonda's book? She wrote in the book that she did. It was her, and he did pee on her.
Well, people's out here to get money. So, my heart make me feel different. People money talk, bullshit walk. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I just think he got better sense than that ever since that 30-year bit that he did with Aaliyah. And he knew he was living in a glass house. So I really think he got more sense to that, to be caught up with kids 14 and 15 years old. And you got all these beautiful women that at least 18, 19 years old he can be with and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe everything was the media and the white supremacy put out there about our black men, trying to make them out to be monsters, and it seems like to me when they get a certain age, they start picking on them. That's what my observation is. Now they're going after Jay-Z, they went after Cannon, Nick Cannon, went after Kanye, but Kanye threw a loop on their ass this time. He went out there and made his own money without the power, without the backings of Sony and the rest of them, but I just wish R. Kelly all the luck. I pray for him. I do miss his concert. I don't believe he's as bad as they trying to make him out to be. So my heart tells me that. And that person who you said would uh, believe different, or just probably just being facetious. You probably don't even believe it. Just out there saying some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I wish him all the luck. And he's entitled to his own beliefs as well.
Okay. But so you don't believe any of that stuff is true? I mean,
No,
to me, the music industry, they are known for being with young girls.
exactly. Just like the Charlie Sheen situation. They put him on blast about how he had all these 16, 15-year-old girls in the mansion getting high for heroin, like 20 or 30 of them. They showed it, you know what I'm saying? Then after they put that out there in the media, then he came to Detroit and did a concert for a whole weekend. You know what I'm saying? Made money. He's not canceled. They didn't talk about him being canceled. They was being sexed up in that mansion. All kind of stuff was happening, and that's their business. So it's not. I don't think the narrative they're using is true. It's something that goes on when, so like when black men becomes a certain age, they pick them. They just choose and pick them to disgrace them and bring all kinds of false allegations against them and take the money that they earn. That's what most people think.
I agree with that. They do come after them after get a certain status, so they could lose their
Their
legacy. And
fame, yeah, economical wealth. They come back, they earn it for the industry and themselves, and then they put them in a position to take it back. So we're not stupid, we just have no power, and we can only pray that God touch somebody's heart and let that man go. Because I really strongly don't believe that. It's just like the lady said, Williams, I think it was. She had mentioned he got a lot of haters. When I seen his brother go against him, that was something. But hey, that happens. But yeah, so I just pray for him. I think about him every day, and I can't believe 7 years has passed already.
Yeah,
You
7,
know, but he
almost
still
7,
look good. He still look
almost
good.
7. It's
Yeah, he still
almost.
look good. He still can come out here and make money like Kanye doing it. So I wish him all the luck, and I continue to pray for him. And everybody's entitled to their own, opinion, and this is mine.
What I do feel he was overcharged as far as the sentencing. There are people who have committed murder and have
Yes,
less time than he have. I know somebody who did malice murder and they end up getting 15 years, but he
yes,
in all these time and nobody died. And
yes.
a lot of the parents were the one who encouraged those relationship and things like that. So I'm talking about
And
like
they not even being charged.
like the Azriel situation and things like that. The parents were the one who was encouraging and pushing it to happen. Even with Rashonda, when she mentioned in her book that her aunt told her to sit on his lap and rub his head and ask him to be his uncle and stuff. I mean, a godfather and stuff like that. But no one is charging her with accessory and things like that. So it's
Exactly. So it's more than what they putting out here, the narrative that they're going by, which is to make a black man look like he's a disgrace to society. He has sexual what I'm saying, needs that he can't control and all that. It's just an overkill. It's an overkill. So yeah, and that's the question everybody asks. If these people are minors, why the parents is not being charged like they should be, since these young ladies are minors, quote unquote. Wouldn't that be if I was doing it in right now, not being a rich person or in publicity, uh uh um protective services come take my kids out the house and charge me for some sort of charge related to allowing a grown man to have sex with the minor child. But we don't even hear anything like that. So it lets you know there that it's full of crap. So I don't know what they so mad at him about. Something happens. He knows, and he just can't tell us.
mm.
And that's my belief.
Dom
So
said he says occupy you for a while because he's coming up here in 10 minutes. He wants to talk to you.
who is that? I don't want to have anything to say to him. He can't make nothing better for R. Kelly. He already posting how he feel about it. So it's not for him to try to beat me down because I'm entitled to. Let me get my cords on my phone. Won't die. I'm entitled to my opinion, just like he is, and that's just how I feel. Because I can't say what somebody did if I wasn't there. I'm only going by what society put on television for me to see and hear, and you form your opinion there. So if they continue to work on a person's thinking, somewhere down the line, let's go. Many people go favor what they're putting out there. So it's just that I think outside the box. I'm a critical thinker, and maybe this person who's trying to come and talk to me may be a concrete thinker. I don't know, but they haven't presented anything that's so relevant, as far as I'm concerned.
Not for no 30 years and 20 years, no. Mm-mm.
And then they're showing how Elvis Presley got his wife. They're showing all the other stars getting women at the
Young age.
Yeah, and marrying them, and but but if you look at the skin color, they're not doing it to that culture. It's the black men they want to put this stuff on. So it's I see Jay-Z, they trying to mess with him now, because he's getting up in age and they ready to get the lawyers together so they can get paid off of what he done over the 30-40 year period. It's a game, and we hip to the game. We're not stupid, so that's just how I feel about it. You know.
That's what I feel the same thing as far as all these people like Hugh Hefner. You heard the young lady who says that she was 17. There was another one that was 16 that was forced to live in those houses. Because I
Right.
have that book, but he lived a whole life till he died, and no one ever took him to trial and
Never.
Rico or anything like that. Tyler
Yeah,
Steven Tyler, right now, he had a girl who was 16 years old. He lied
exactly.
how she got pregnant by him. He tried to burn the house down and had her inside the house. What about that situation? He never went to jail, never went to court, anything like that. So there's many,
Right.
many individuals who are, I mean, I did a whole
Mhm.
live on it.
And
And
people know. People's very aware of all that.
and
That's why many of us don't believe.
Cambrian French guy right now, they say he's not even capable of being on trial. He's sitting at home while
Yeah,
everybody he just supposedly allegedly he did it to 100 something boys.
you're right. That's what we're saying. That's what I'm saying. You got those who been proven to have done it. You know what I'm saying? These things, what they're using is old footage that happened 30 some years ago, the Aaliyah, and then they trying to keep it up to date with that girl who came back to his studio, who was brought to the studio. That I can't think of her name right now. And she was what, 17 and 2 months before she turned 18. And then all of a sudden, he had a few months to uh uh have sexual relations with this underage kid. It's full of crap. It makes me want to write the president a letter, but they got it out for Robert.
You know,
I think.
you know there's a clause in all the industries. The clause is if they go to jail or if they commit a crime, they get the money back. The industry take their money and they get it back.
Yeah,
That's the reason why they try to put most of them in jail or kill.
exactly. That's the game. And so I feel like, just in layman's terms, you got this millionaire status person or billionaire status person. You got some lawyers and prosecutors that get together and say, come on, let's go get this money from this person. So, that's how my intelligence tell me. I could be wrong, but um I just think it's so biased where, they pick and choose the black men to be the downfall, and like as if they have no sexual control and they only want to have sex with chilled babies, 14, 15. And 14 is the magic number. I don't know why they like that 14-year-old number, but it's always somebody 14. So that lets you know it's too consistent, with the same age group, 14, never 16 or 17. It's always 14. So yeah, that's my take on it. So I wonder, what is he going to court for tomorrow? Will it
No,
make,
I'm going to court tomorrow. It's supposed to
I
be
mean, it's 17.
it
The
has
17th.
it has to do with no, it's regarding this case. It's regarding
Okay.
wait a minute, y'all. It's regarding the trial that he was on in Illinois. Look at the case number. Hold on a second, let me put it up. It's not the civil case. It's the hold on, I didn't pay attention. My bad, y'all. Sorry. Look, it's the look. Look at this. It's the criminal case. The one that he just
Oh,
look.
wow. Yeah.
Y'all see it? It's the criminal case. It's not the I thought it was the civil. My bad. Sorry guys. It's the criminal case.
Wow. And that's tomorrow or the 17th?
No, it's the 17th.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely keep up with, with you. I appreciate you taking time out and getting the information to share with us. There's a couple of other people that their heart is in a good place, but sometimes things get mixed up and cause some little conflicts between people. But I still appreciate them taking that time out to get the information to share it, and that's what's important.
Jackson, let me just tell you what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be bringing information to you guys. I'm not getting caught up in all that stuff. That stuff is in the past for me. I'm just going to bring information and keep moving. That's it.
And that's the thing to do. That's the best thing to do. It's a mature thing to do. We all, care about him and wish him all the luck. And many of us don't believe he's been treated fair, and I'm one of them. And, and it hurted my heart when he went to, when they took him, so we want him back.
I believe he served enough time. That's what I believe.
Yeah, we want him back, and I just thank God to keep him alive, and that's scary every day, him being up in there, so hopefully, he been well protected, or, no harm's way come on him. I know he don't had a couple of bouts with some prisoners in there. So media says. I don't know what went on. I'm going by what the media say. So yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. And I believe Bo Britley, if there's a rock to turn over, Bo is the man to get the rock turned over. He's that relentless. He's very relentless. I watched him when he was being the lawyer for McDavid. He's one of those relentless ones. He'll find creative ways to talk about certain things in the case.
And I hope he's legit and sincere, because all the attorneys, because a lot of them, can be just getting a name through and still getting recognition through R. Kelly even being locked up. You know what I'm saying? So I just hope the person is sincere and really believe that what he's going through is not fair. I think as long as that judge, that lady, whoever, I forgot her name, as long as she's sitting on that bench, well, that's the question right there, because tonight she denied everything that came across. So
you said Bo has been missing deadlines. See, I have not been paying attention to this, so I really don't know what you guys are talking about. That Bo has been missing deadlines. We shall see. Well, I can't speak on the deadlines. I don't know.
Yeah. So,
I don't know, but again, we need good lawyers to look at his case.
Yeah, definitely do.
And you know what it takes to get a good lawyer? It takes money. So
yeah. And you know what? Yeah, he's a commodity. So if I had the know-how and was an attorney, I would invest in defending him, because he's a commodity. He can make the money. He got to get out of there.
A lot of them don't want that stigma on their name, and
right, exactly. Because the media has really scorned his name, to many people. Many people haven't, but many people has. So, but maybe once he's been proven innocent, it can reverse all the negativities and the false beliefs against him.
I don't think the stigma will ever leave his name, because there are some things like the Aaliyah thing still going to be lingering over his head.
Well, it never stopped none before until he went to jail, because the 30-year bit.
They brought that up in the New York case. They brought Aaliyah in there. Aaliyah was in the case.
Yeah, and we got sick of hearing that old crap. You know what I'm saying? We're sick of hearing about Aaliyah. Let her rest in peace. Is it 40 years yet? It's about 40 years. Almost 40 years, That's the only thing, seems like to me, they got to go on. Only because she probably was young. It's over 30.
Really?
It's old. It's old shit. So
man, you can't cuss up here.
Huh?
You can't cuss up here.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, so it's some old crap that they keep reaching back to use against them, and then they want to add a little something up in there, to make it be more updated. And as long as you got people that's starving to get paid a few dollars, they'll come out the woodwork on you. So You know, so we know the game. You know, I'm hoping it's finally getting ready to have his, run his course, and with him coming out in his mind, right mind, and healthy and alive. That's what I wish for him.
Yeah. Do you think because they have this thing here that they're pushing him more in a hole and he getting more in trouble because of these hearings?
See, like every time it's time for him to have a hearing, he becomes very popular in the media. Seem like to me, I'm starting to see the who's that? What's his name? The comedian is bringing him back up and making jokes. You probably start. What I did, it's good to see on social media that they're using his song in the club and it's becoming viral where the younger generation is dancing. At first, there was the other cultures were dancing to it in a rhythmic fashion, and then as time went on, you keep scrolling, then you'll see, you know, the black culture gets, dancing to the song, got more little more rhythm in it, So that song is viral now, and I was surprised that they even allow it to be played, since they're trying to mute them. But that's what's happening now.
That muting stuff is gone, kind of like died out. That
Huh?
muting stuff kind of died out.
Yeah, especially the Me Too. Didn't they cancel the Me Too thing? They
I think
canceled that Me Too.
I haven't heard because I know something about the people that was ahead of it. They got in trouble with some stuff, and
Yeah, because the men were somebody they want to be represented by Me Too. When the women going against them, so they want to use the Me Too for their purposes. And so, like to me, when the men start asking about utilizing that hashtag Me Too, then they changed the whole game. And then they don't even hear about it no more.
mm-hmm.
Because there was other actors I think was getting in trouble for women um, making false accusations about them, and they brought up the Me Too Act, whatever it is. I don't even know what it is,
Mm.
and you don't even hear about it. So I think it phased out, or they
Well, I
don't
haven't
use it
heard too much about him. I have not heard about too much about him.
no more.
McCain says it's still going. It's just selective now.
Right, right. Yeah. So yeah. So nobody else want to come on and voice their opinion. Huh?
They scared. You're the brave one. Okay, here comes
It's
Dom.
nothing to be afraid about. It's just a human being that's in jail, and that's just my opinion. I wish him all the luck. He's our brother, so what's wrong with that? There's somebody else here.
That's Dom, the one that was trying to come up. Dom,
Oh, spill your gut.
Yo,
let's
what's
not come up
going
here
on?
fighting with nobody, sir.
Spill your
Fighting with
gut.
who? Ain't nothing to
I'm
fight
just,
about.
I'm just saying, don't come up here fighting with nobody.
Look, it's nothing to fight about.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing to fight about. I was just curious. That's all. I was just having dialogue.
Curious about
Um,
Oh,
how's it going, Jackson?
I'm
FA?
doing. I'm doing
How's
great.
it
How
going?
about yourself?
Not too bad. What's going on, Sylvia?
hey,
What's up, chat? No, I was just having dialogue. That's all. Yeah, I was pretty
Yeah.
much just saying that I don't know, Jackson. I don't know where how recent like you've been following Sylvia's page, but I've been following Sylvia's page for like 7 years now, and we covered the R. Kelly case, every case that he had, federal, state, civil, everything. And so that's where my opinion comes from. I'm not just
Okay.
going off what the media says or that kind of, like, I've read all of the transcripts,
Mm-hmm.
everything. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not, I'm not tearing him down. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I'm not tearing him down. But I do think he was with several minors with the parents' consent, with the parents' consent, but it's still, that's illegal, and that's where and yeah, he was set up. Two or three, four things, like I said in the chat earlier, can be
to
true
be
at once,
mm-hmm.
and yeah, I think he was set up. If he had Diddy's money, I don't think he would be still in jail. I don't.
I agree with you on that one.
So there's multiple things. There was so many different layers, including the people that was around him. They stopped
Mhm.
getting stuff from him, so they flipped on him. I mean, there were so many different
Yeah.
things going on,
Mhm.
and yeah, I do feel bad for him, but I also think he could have got help. You see what I'm saying? Because he had the resources, and
Let me
so
ask you
that's
this.
kind of my
Let
thing.
me
Yeah, go ahead.
let me intervene.
Yeah,
So could have got help. Now, who are the minors who he had sexual relations with?
he had it was several. I mean, he had I mean on down to the 90s. It was
No,
alleged that he married Aaliyah. He
but
was with
those charges was dropped though. You can't
well,
keep
yeah,
bringing
I'm
up
just saying
charges that was.
I
Mhm.
understand that. You asked me a question and I'm just
Mhm.
responding,
And,
right?
and you're
You
being
said
broad
which
about it. Narrow it
no,
down.
no, I'm not okay. If you want to go to what's actually in paperwork,
Yeah.
Asriel Clary,
Right.
um, um, what was the other one?
The
Sylvia,
Geronda.
one
give me
that's
some names.
22 years
Geronda
old.
Pace. Yep.
Geronda.
Geronda Pace.
I don't think she
Rashana
was underage
Landfair.
though. Was she
Rashana
underage?
Lam. No, no, yeah.
Rashawn
She was
Land.
17. She was 16. Geronda Pace was 15, 16. And then, Geronda Pace, Rashana Landfair was obviously 12, 13, 14, when they had met and then,
Lord.
did their thing. And then, I mean, those three right there, and then there was several others. I'm just saying in paperwork, those three right there alone were all they needed.
It's what
You know,
they got on them. Okay. And so
right,
when you have
right,
a parent that allow a 12-year-old along with a grown man, because
right.
my 12-year-old girls, they 40
Totally
years
wrong.
old now, but I will not allow my 12-year-old daughter to be hanging out at the studio with a grown man.
Me neither.
And if that
Me
was the
neither.
case, I'm sure protective services would have me in handcuffs. So it's the logic behind it all that doesn't make sense to me. First and foremost, what interest does a 12-year-old have for a grown man in his, what was it, in his 40s?
Well, let me. This is the thing, though, right? You got to put things in perspective, and I'm just going based on because now it's been 7 years now. Like he was arrested in 2019.
But Dom, they never proved that he actually had sex with Geronda. You never. It was.
Okay. We're having
No,
conversation,
no,
Sylvia.
I'm
I'm
just.
responding to what she's saying. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just like you said, you brought up what does a 12-year-old have in common? Totally
They
agree with
don't.
you. The parents are 100% accountable. I'm with you on that. I think they should be in jail. Along, if that's what they're gonna do. But my thing is this: when you come from the hood, right? You don't have nothing. You shopping at Dollar Tree, you on EBT, you don't know how you gonna make the next bill, this and that. And then you come in contact with somebody who is, and keep in mind, you're a singer or you trying to rap for your career, you're just a kid. You come in contact with the biggest artist in your city that has access to every artist in the world. He's a chart-topping singer, one of the biggest of all time. Even back then, one of the biggest of all time. And then your aunt, she puts you in contact with this person, and you're a kid. Keep in mind, you 12 years, 13, 14, whatever. You're a mind. You're super young, so you're gonna be like, wow. For one, you get to be around the lifestyle. You get to be in the studio. You get to be, and this is not just one setting. This is not just come to the studio one time. No, you're hanging around this person regularly, daily, that type
So
of
they
thing.
don't go to
So of
school. They don't
course,
go to school. They go to the studio, right?
studio, right? Exactly. And
They
so
don't even
my
go to
thing
school
is,
no more.
yeah, they
Okay.
don't even go to school, right? But you got to put that in a perspective when it's easy for somebody who did not grow up having all the access to all these different things, and then you meet somebody who's like, hey, I can meet you, I can put you in contact with Jive Records. I can
Okay. Now, right there,
put you go
let me interject. Let me interject right
go
there.
ahead.
Okay. So just like that whole scenario you just communicated just now, if that
Mhm,
was the case, what makes you think it couldn't be on a level where you have those individuals that set him up, go to the
mhm,
same parents, offer them people in the hood some
mhm.
money if you use your daughter and say that he's having sex with her. So what makes you think it can't be like that?
What do you? Okay, you have to be a little bit more specific because I'm kind of confused on what you're asking.
What I just said. So what makes you think
Okay.
it can't be the point where the setup or the people who's involved in setting them up couldn't go to those parents who got kids
Hmm.
12 and 13 years old and say, well, if we can pay you so many
Right.
dollars to say that your child is having
Well,
or sex with R. Kelly, what makes you think if they from the hood don't have nothing, what makes you think it couldn't come from that perspective more so than the narrative you're trying to convince me? I would think that if that was the case, as
let me tell
far as
you
I'm
why.
concerned,
Let me tell you.
let me say this, let me finish.
Yeah.
I lived in the
Yeah, go.
hood, and in the hood we had to go to
Hmm.
school. Okay, 12 and 13 years old.
Right.
So if you the way you trying to get me to believe that it can be a family where they stress for money and they found R. Kelly, and so they willing to give their daughter to him because they strapped for money. So what makes you think they wouldn't do the same thing if you got I don't know what kind of label you want to put on these people who will come to the same people and say, well, if you can say use your children to say that they're having sex with R. Kelly, we'll give you some money because the motivation is the money. So what makes you think it can go that direction?
Well, because let me tell you why. Well, for one, like for example, if somebody just some random person just started accusing me like, oh, he's messing with kids. I don't have that reputation of messing with kids. Does that make sense? So you would have
No, you
to
don't.
prove
You
that.
wouldn't have the
When
money that they
someone
want
has
to
a
take.
history of, okay, he came in
Go ahead.
contact with Rashana Landfair. This is like 2000, right? Let's just say it's 2000. Well,
Okay.
he already had a reputation for 8 years of supposedly, quote unquote, being with minors, right? And he came in contact with the
Well, it
aunt,
wasn't
which
minors.
is
It
Sparkle.
wasn't it just Aaliyah? Wasn't it just Aaliyah?
But she
Aren't
was a
they
minor
using that?
though.
Okay, but
Yeah, but Aaliyah
you
was a
putting an
minor.
S
That's
on
one.
it.
One is
You
enough.
making it be plural, but it's
Well, no,
singular.
because
It was her.
it was Aaliyah, as well as there were several other ones. What's the girl, Javante Cunningham? Which that's not proven. She just said she was. And then they had a couple other
Right, because she
friends.
there for the money.
I can't think of their names as right now. I can't think of the names, but there was a couple
Mm.
other friends in that group. Excuse me, were all hanging out and supposedly having this with these type of relationships with him, right? So that was going on for 6 7 years. So my point being is that, okay, he came in contact with Sparkle. Sparkle was a singer, right? And obviously she was a good singer. I mean, a decent one where she may be careful. That was a good song. After that, obviously she was a flop. But my point being is that she was she was obviously having a relationship with R. Kelly, Sparkle, that is. She was sleeping with R. Kelly. She left her husband for this man, right? And she
Oh,
obviously
she was married
was
material. She was the
she
age
was
to be
not.
married. I thought you said
Oh
she
no,
left her
she
husband.
was not. She did. She
Oh,
left her husband for R. Kelly. And so my point is in saying that is he was kind of I don't know this because I'm not there. I'm just saying for whatever reason, she thought to bring her niece around,
the
who at the time was
right.
12 or 13, 14, whatever her age was. It was very
Because
young. So she brought her
the
around
setup is
because of the
starting. That's when it
talent or
starts.
whatever. I
Absolutely.
agree.
So
I agree.
the stage is
There's
being
no reason that the aunt, right? But that
the
also means
stage
too,
is
let me tell
being
you
set.
this. And this is
The
where
stage is being
this
set.
yeah, but this is the problem. The stage can be set, but this is the problem that I have with people who are like I said, I'm a big R. Kelly. His music is he's the greatest R&B to me, right?
Me too.
But I'm not going to negate or deny the facts, right? And just because I like his music, I love his music, I'm going to sit up here and say, oh, he's just the most innocent thing ever, and this, that, he can't do this, he can't. My
And you
point
know
is,
what? I'm
back to
not
your
that
point
vain.
about
I'm
the
not that
setup,
vain. I'm not that vain.
right, right.
And if he's wrong,
I
he's
agree.
wrong. But I just feel like that all what you just said is exactly that the stage has been set up. So who hangs out with a 12-year-old or
Let me tell
13-year
you.
old niece
Let me tell you.
and
Let me
they're
tell you. So
grown
the
and
stage was
married?
being right. The stage is being set, but this is my problem that I have with R. Kelly. He should have
Mm.
shut that down right then and there and said, if you
Maybe,
don't get this child
maybe
away from me, that
no. You
simple.
know what? Because you know what? It can
He
be
chose
because
to
of who he is.
continue. That's on him. You see what I'm
No, no,
saying?
no. Let me say this. It can maybe it could be the person he is. He seemed to be a very giving person. Okay, he
For sure.
shared his wealth. He shares his
Yeah,
wealth. That's where he made his mistake at. And all the time he had all those wolves around here
I
ready to
agree.
take him out for a few dollars. You know what I'm saying? And so maybe the connection was legit, where because you know he can make, like you say, he's one of the greatest R&B singer, and he could make someone else
Hmm.
like he did Aaliyah before they got involved, you know, become just as great. And maybe that was the motivation.
Hmm.
But I think it was part of the stage being set for the takedown.
100%. I agree with that. I agree with that. I just feel that he should have drew the line. Like there's no way that she should be coming up to the studio by herself. Like they were saying she's doing. Things
And where
like
was the
that.
mama at?
He could have shut that stuff down. You see, and that's where
But
I
we
come into
wasn't there.
play and where I say I think he had a problem. You see what
But
I'm
you know
saying? I
what?
think he did. Due
You're
to what
talking as
happened to him as a child.
you're
That's what made him
talking
like
as
that.
if you're talking as if you were there. So
No, I'm
we only
not.
can
I'm
go.
going by
Wait a minute.
documents.
You going by transcripts and what they
Correct.
said. Okay, right.
Correct.
And you know, people lie all the time. So
Of
because
course they do. Of course
first
they
and
do.
foremost, a 12-year-old kid supposed to be at home.
Of course.
Okay, so
1000%.
that's just common sense. I don't care if you live in the hood, in the suburbs, or whatever. They do go to school in the hood. So first
Of
and
course.
foremost, why would the parents not miss their children who going up to a place where you got grown adults? Because it ain't just R. Kelly up in that building now.
Of course.
Okay, so why would they trust their 12-year-old daughter in a building with all
Because
these grown men?
because of who he is. That's why. And then
Oh,
you got
okay.
to
So
I wasn't even I
that's a
wasn't even getting.
rationale.
Yeah, but listen,
That's a
I wasn't
rationale.
even yeah, but I wasn't even finishing to what I was saying. This is also what you have to factor in. Like I said, you coming from the hood, all this stuff, and then you play instrument, right? You're the father. You play an instrument. And then he says, "You know what? This keep in mind, in the 90s, R. Kelly was the biggest R&B, period. No one was above him. So think about that, right? And then he says, "Hey, I'll let you play, guitar or bass or whatever it was on my next 4 albums, as long as you just let your daughter come." And
Oh,
that's where the
come on
parents
now.
messed up.
You
That's
making
where
up
the
no,
parent.
you making
I'm not making
you
nothing up.
setting up a
That's
narrative
what
yourself.
happened. I'm not making up the narrative.
Only
I'm
way you can
telling you
say
that's
it
what
happened like
happened.
that if you
What
was
are we saying
there.
here?
How you know you're not bearing false
It
witness against a
happened.
neighbor?
I'm not just saying this because
You what
I'm
you
not
going
just
by?
making this up. I'm looking at
What
the
you going by?
totality. I've read the transcripts of every document. What do you
So
mean?
you going by pretty much
That
what
happened.
other people
And it's
had
not the,
said.
no, I'm not. No,
That,
okay.
that's what transcripts are.
Every trial. Hold on. Trial.
Yeah, your phone a little
You're
janky.
breaking up.
Around
You're
him.
breaking up. You're
One
breaking up.
person said.
I said
I'm going
that's
by
what
50, 60 different people.
oh, that don't
You see what
mean
I'm
nothing.
saying?
That don't mean nothing. That's 50 or 60
It
people that live
does.
in the hood,
Okay. Okay.
who want some money.
No. That's not how what I'm trying to portray, that it was just for money. Yes, a lot of it was. But again, that's what it makes it easier for someone to be persuaded.
Absolutely.
Okay? If
Money,
someone walked up
money.
to you today, right? Let's just say, for example, you don't just
Your phone is breaking up,
right?
Dom.
I'm sure
Dom, you're not hearing anything you're saying. Your
Have you
phone
ever
breaking.
worked? Okay.
You don't hear me.
Okay. So now my phone's breaking up. Okay. Now my phone's breaking up.
Because God trying to
Okay.
shut you
It
down
was
because
breaking
what you're
up.
saying ain't true.
It was breaking
Yeah,
up. Go ahead.
nah. I know what it is. I know
No,
what
go
it
ahead.
is. Okay. I was asking you, do you work, ma'am? Or have you ever worked in your life?
I'm a master prepared registered nurse. And I come
Oh,
from the
that's
hood.
amazing. I appreciate everything that you do out here because
What
healthcare is
about
super
you? What
important.
do you do? What do you do?
I'm an independent contractor, and I don't tell
Oh,
specifics on YouTube because maybe you haven't been on YouTube long enough, but people on here they're pretty crazy. They'll try to get you fired, which I'm independent, so you can't fire me. It's just people are crazy out here. I'll just say that.
Well, we
The
only
reason why
having a
I'm asking you
discussion.
that
We
is
only
this.
having a discussion.
Yeah,
That's
we
all
having
we
this.
having, and
People are
we
crazy
have
though.
free.
If
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
if you've known what me and Sylvia, the type of people we have dealt with on YouTube, oh, they'll try to make you get evicted. They'll try to lose your job, everything. Lawsuits, they'll try to
Yeah.
get you arrested. Sylvia has been arrested. So it's crazy. So that's why I'm just the reason why I'm
But you know,
asking you that is this.
what's your name? What you say
A
your name?
nurse
What's
makes
your
good
name?
money.
Derek. Your name? What's your name? What's that say?
My name is
Den?
Dom. My name is
Dom.
Dom.
Well, you know what, Don? We ain't gonna worry about them because that's me and you
Yep,
having a conversation. We voicing our opinion. You entitled to yours. I'm entitled to mine. This not gonna change what's happening with R.
absolutely.
Kelly
So
right
the
now. You know
reason
what I'm
why I'm
saying?
asking,
And then
so the
and
reason,
we'll come to
the
this
reason why I'm asking you that is because
conversation to an end real soon.
what you yeah, absolutely. So the reason why I
Hmm.
was asking you that though is a nurse makes good money. A nurse makes good money, especially if you've been there for a while, whatever. But if someone think about this, if someone came up to you, right? Let's say any type of celebrity comes up to you and says, "Hey, I'll pay you 850,000 per year to be my private nurse. You're gonna run all my health. You're gonna travel with me everywhere I go, and you're getting paid 850,000 per year. Would you leave your job today?"
Well, that's what I'm saying. Money talk, bull crap walk. So I mean, it can be said like
That's
I'm gonna
my
give
point.
you,
That's
I'm gonna
that's
give you a certain
that's what
amount
I'm
of
saying.
money if you allow me to use your child to take down R. Kelly. That's the reason why they probably not even prosecuting the parents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there was just so many different layers. Even each
Right.
parent, there was different layers to it. Each parent had different
Yeah.
layers to it, different relationships. They played different parts.
I don't know.
So I'm 100% Angelo Clary. Angelo Clary and his wife. They should be in jail.
Well, they came back and said he
What's the
was
other one?
innocent.
Yeah, but regardless, they were playing a part of it with Azriel early
Yeah.
on. They were, he was
Right. I
redoing the
know what you're
lights
talking
and all
about.
this stuff. It's
Yeah.
it's it's just so much to it. But my point being is that the only reason why I was just bringing this up was, like I said, I wasn't trying to bash R. Kelly. I was supporting him for the longest time ever. It's just I'm
Yeah.
not going to negate the facts. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
That makes sense to
I
you.
also don't think he should get 30 years. I don't think so. Especially when you have the parents involved and all that. He should not have gotten 30 years. You know what I'm
That's my
saying?
point. It's
Um,
really an
and
overkill,
so,
I think.
you know, yeah, no, it definitely
Hmm.
was. It definitely was.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking he was going to get, maybe 10, 15 years,
Hopefully that's
tops,
all he did is 10. He'd be
you
out because he
know?
don't serve 7. So
Right, right. Yeah, he's already, I would
going
say
on
a third
7.
there, but,
Yeah.
he's been in there for a minute, and so that was kind of just my thing. It was just I just don't like when I see people saying, "Oh no, he's 1,000% innocent," and it's like, come on, fam. Like
No, I
we
never said
already
he
done
was
seen everything.
1,000% innocent. I know it started off with the Aaliyah situation 30 years ago. I was 30 years younger. 30 years ago, and it
Wow.
keep reaching back to bring up the dead horse, literally, and so we
Right.
got over
Right.
that. We got over that. He was forgiven, moved on, and he could continue to do what he do, and we supported him, the ones that went to his concert and things like that. And then next thing you know, they bringing it
Hmm.
back to make it be the number one motivating factor with added on
Right.
situations, all those people who you name. So that's how I look at it. We
Hmm.
tired of hearing about what happened to that young lady, which that's gone now. And what happened then, it happened.
R.I.P. Aaliyah.
He
Right.
wanted to marry the girl out here because he thought he had a baby by her. Yeah, he was young too, because he was
Right.
30 years younger. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Right.
he was what, in early 20s, and she was
27.
what,
Yeah, he was
15 or
27.
something like that.
Yeah,
And that
27 and
happens,
15. Yeah.
and that can happen in the hood, that can happen down
Yeah.
south.
No, for
So that's
sure.
really not even,
Thousand
you know what
percent.
I'm saying? Yeah, so they making
Especially
a
in
big thing.
Chicago. Especially in
Yeah,
Chicago.
well,
Um,
period.
I
Period.
think
It's
they tried to
everywhere.
add that. I think they tried to add in Aaliyah to because to play on her fan. She was a huge star. So I think people they wanted to add that in to make it, a bigger thing,
I think they
to
used
play on
it
people's
because she was
emotions.
underage.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
They
Yeah, for
used that
sure.
as the lead narrative. And then
Hmm.
they added more. And then that's when all the other stuff started surfacing, just like with Bill Cosby. All them folks came out the woodwork 80 years
Right,
later,
right.
and you look
Uh-huh.
at them old ugly ass women. I mean, ugly women. It's like whatever. They probably was glad
Right.
to be with him.
See, I think there should be like for example, you shouldn't be able to come out 25, 30 years later and say, well, this person did this to me, and then this
Exactly.
person gets 30 years. Like I think that's crazy.
And then
And I
to
get
keep
it. I
bringing
get
up, oh
victims.
yeah,
I
I
get
agree with
victims.
you
They
on
have to
that.
take their time to heal and all that, but it shouldn't
Yeah,
take 40 years. I'm sorry.
and
It should
my
not take
point.
40 years.
Exactly. So you can know, you can game recognize game. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Game
no,
recognize game.
1,000. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That happens a lot,
so
especially in today's
uh,
climate. It should
yeah,
happen more so than not, which is
yeah.
crazy.
And
You
that's all
know,
that's my opinion. It don't mean anything. I don't, society go do what they want to do with them anyhow. I just hope that they find them favor and find the truth of it all and allow it to be heard and even, his trials and tribulations, what's true, let it be said, and what's false, let it be brought out. You know what I'm saying? And
right?
and get through it because
Hmm.
they haven't really did anything yet, but keep bringing up the old stuff.
Right.
And then just slept
Yeah.
30 years on them. And slept 30
Yeah.
years on
That's
them.
man. That's a long time too, especially at
And
50.
what is it
He
called
was
when
like
you go to jail?
55.
You can get a bond or something. He didn't even couldn't even do that. A
Oh
bail bond,
yeah.
whatever
Yep.
it's
Once
called.
they grabbed him, he was in there. He was in there. Yeah. He can get bonded out forever. Um. Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah.
They definitely did overcharge him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And that's
Especially in New
all we
York. New
saying.
York was crazy. I mean, they gave him racketeering. That's crazy.
And they saying
You
that
know,
that's not even the definition of racketeering.
but
You know what I'm saying? They're using false accusations on him. It's not even true from what I'm hearing. 'Cause racketeering don't even
right,
consist of what
right,
they
yeah,
trying to charge
racketeering
him
is
with.
especially with just him. I had never seen
That's what
any
they were
type of
saying.
RICO or racketeering with one person. I've never seen
Right,
that. It's always
right.
a group of people.
Exactly.
So I thought they would at least charge as the managers, the drivers, and
No, they
his
got out
friends
of it.
around him, and this that. Yeah,
They got
that's
out of it
I
because
didn't I
they
didn't
helped.
like
They
that.
helped
I didn't
formulate
like
the,
that.
the yeah. They helped formulate the scenario, so they got out of it. They weren't even part of it. And they was with them every day, all night.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't piss on me and
Insane.
tell me it's raining. You know what I'm saying? So I just think
Hmm.
outside the box. I know he's guilty of some things, which is the Leah thing. All that other up to date stuff, I'm not convinced on that
Right.
entirely like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just feel
I
like it's
respect I
something that.
respect I respect your opinion. You know,
Yep,
I
I respect
respect it.
it too.
Especially that you could have a logical conversation about it because a lot of people, just being throughout the years covering R. Kelly
Mhm.
stuff, you can't even, I can't even have no conversation. That's why when I got on, Sylvia was like, "We not about to be doing no arguing," because people will like if they support R. Kelly, they will go on a limb. They will not. They're gonna be cussing you out. They can't have a conversation like this. They just can't.
Right. Yeah.
Because they don't want to hear it. And it's like, well, that's how I feel. That's how you feel. And it is what it is. We can both bring up certain points. Why you think it's
Right.
this? Why I think it's that? Or,
Exactly. Hear your
know, and,
viewpoint,
and
and
have
you
a
can hear
discussion.
my
That's the only way you
viewpoint.
can get somewhere, you know?
Right. Exactly. And that's
Exactly.
all I'm saying.
And that's what I
So
like about 2026. So
what's that? Oh, talking
no
about this
doubt.
year,
Yeah. I'm
2026.
just saying that, like, I like that. Yeah, I'm just saying that I like that you can have dialogue like that, in
Yeah.
2026 because beforehand
hmm
you couldn't. People, they're not trying to hear that. People not trying
Yeah,
to
it's
hear that.
like, yeah, very
You
emotional.
know.
Some people very emotional. But that's my take on it. I just don't believe everything I hear in the media. So my
Does
intuitions has.
definitely stir up.
Huh?
The
What
media
you say?
definitely does add 20 on 10. The media
Absolutely.
adds 20 on 10 for sure.
That's their job.
Hmm.
Negativity. So, but I do have my own thinking. I have my own, and that's what he said. Think, And that's what I think, and I think outside the box. I'm not a concrete thinker, you know what I'm saying? So I just wish him all the luck, and hopefully he'll come home soon. That's all I ask, you know. Ask my Lord
Right.
to bring him home. You know, we
Yeah,
tired
I
of him being
agree.
gone.
I agree. He's been in there. He's
Yeah,
been in there for a while. I
7 years.
agree.
yeah,
There are people who
7 years. That's
murder
a long time,
get out
man.
earlier than
Who
him.
gets in that? Yeah, yeah. I well, for example, I know you guys might not know. I don't know if you guys listen to rap. I know Sylvia doesn't listen to like rap, but there was a rapper called XXX Tentacion.
well, see,
He
I'm
was
older than you, so I
from
don't know nothing
Florida.
about that.
He was right, right. Well, he was murdered back in I want to say it was 2017, something like that. And you know, it was all on camera and everything, and it was only for maybe 30,000 in a car or something. But they ended up catching every person. I think there was 3 different people who murdered him. Just last week, a couple weeks ago, one of the murderers was
Yeah,
released.
see,
What?
He killed somebody. He's out on like he's free. Yeah,
and it's been
just it
proven.
was released. Yep.
Right.
He went through everything. He convicted already out. It was just he took someone's life.
Some
You
some
know,
parts of your house don't got good connection.
You
Certain
going in
parts of
and
your house don't have good
out, going
connection.
in and out.
Yeah, right. Certain rooms don't have good connection. Yeah, but I can believe that. Yeah, that's a prime
you know,
example right
but
there. But what state did that person live in?
mhm.
I think Florida.
Oh, okay.
Florida. Yeah,
But
and
Chicago,
Florida's pretty
Chicago is
strict
hard. Woo.
with that. Yep.
Chicago is
Yeah, that's
hard.
crazy, especially when it's federal. You know, federal.
Yeah,
R. Kelly had 2 federal cases. That's hard to beat right there, no matter
yeah.
what
They
type of
made
case it
sure he
is. You
had
know.
one. That's for sure. They made sure. That's for sure. But I still
Yeah,
believe
that's what I
that
think they wanted. You know.
his spirit and his soul is nowhere near what they're trying to make it out to be, and that's just my take on it. You know, I
Yeah,
don't think
I
he's
agree.
made up like that. I don't think he's a monster like that. I really don't believe that.
Right.
And
Yeah,
when
I
I
agree.
listen
They
to his
definitely
music,
added more.
yeah. So that's my take on it. I hope
Yeah,
nobody
I
don't come after me.
appreciate. Yeah, right. Yeah, now that's yeah. I appreciate you having the conversation. You know, I
I
seen you on
appreciate
here,
your
so I said, let
conversation
me
too.
pop up real quick and say what's up
Yeah.
because we
Well,
I haven't seen Sylvia talked about R. Kelly in forever. You know, I really don't
yeah,
see
I noticed she
anything.
hadn't been on
You
too.
know,
I followed her ever since she used to come on, but nothing had been happening. He
there's
been
nothing. Yeah,
stuck.
exactly. There's no information about him. You know, until
Yeah,
he has a court date, and I was like, oh wow.
Yeah,
So
they
this
yeah,
is just a status hearing, Sylvia,
it was
or
gonna
what?
be tomorrow. I was gonna pop up and show you guys, but because they canceled it, so I did
yeah.
not.
Oh, okay.
To surprise you.
I had heard it was gonna be on the 17th before hearing it from you, Sylvia. So on 17th, I'll be plugged into YouTube, and whoever got the story,
So
I'll be there to listen.
you heard that it was in person on the 17th?
No, not in person. I just heard that he wasn't gonna go to court until the 17th. That's what I heard on YouTube.
Okay.
Hmm. And then when I seen you come on and I seen R. Kelly's name, I said, "Oh, he must have did go today, like it was scheduled."
No, he didn't. They had a
Okay.
hearing. They had a hearing yesterday, and they
Oh,
um
yesterday. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well,
But
guys, I'm gonna get off of here. Huh?
I said I didn't hear the call. I wasn't on the call, so I didn't hear the call. There was other people that heard the call.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I must keep continuing to pray for him, and I sure miss going to his concert. That's a dang on show. I need me an R. Kelly concert right about now.
You used to go to a lot of his concerts.
Oh yes, I went to 2 of them, and they are out this world.
Okay.
Wow. What where exactly did you go? Like what was it a special was
We
he at a
did one for.
special
We went
arena
to
or
see him
what?
on the. Well, you know what the venue. We went to see him on New Year's. He did one on New Year's, and he did a regular concert at the ballpark with
Oh, okay.
other groups. Yeah.
Now is this in Chicago or
No, Detroit. We
Detroit?
went
Oh,
to
okay.
Detroit. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to always see him in Detroit doing
Yeah.
his concert.
Have you
Either
ever
he
Yeah.
got a haircut
Dom? Dom, you ever been to a concert? His concert?
of R. Kelly. No. Nope. I've never been to an R.
Oh,
Kelly concert.
Me neither.
oh
Yep, I
yeah.
haven't.
They on YouTube. They do allow us to see them.
Yeah. No, I've watched
Hmm.
a lot of them,
Yeah, I
and
watched
it's I
it.
mean it's crazy. You know, he
Yeah,
does
he
all the
bad.
singing, and he has the women wipe his beard and all type of stuff. Yeah,
He
nah,
comes
he's
up.
definitely
He
entertaining.
be all up into the audience. He know he
Right,
ain't nobody gonna
right.
hurt him. So he's
He
very
loves his
comfortable.
fans. I will
Yes.
say that he loves his fans.
Yeah. He
You
sure
know,
do. That's why.
She went to 24 concerts. Oh wow.
dang, 24. Wow,
Dang.
next
He
level. Yeah,
bad.
you a real fan.
Oh
He
yeah,
bad.
she's definitely a fan.
Kelly
That's
bad.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
miss
now
it.
he is, and that's why still to this day I'm like, yeah, his musically, he no one could touch. I'm a big Chris Brown fan. You know, I'm a lot younger. He's my generation, but
Yeah, that's my daughter.
just growing up and everything like that, R. Kelly, because he could do everything. You know, it's not just sing; he could sing and write.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
And that's
And I
what's
didn't
crazy
know he
because a
had
lot of
anything to
yeah,
do with life. That picture life. I didn't know
oh
that was
yeah,
his
uh huh,
music.
yeah, he can. I mean, that's why I think it's not really there's not a lot of artists that can do both. A lot of artists they can have the voice. Like I remember there's recently Chris Brown did an interview maybe a year or two ago, and he said yeah they could write it, but who gonna sing it like me? And he's
Okay.
right. So because he has that voice, so and he has a lot of writers. A lot of artists still have writers,
You're right.
which I still respect that because if you have the voice, but if you can write and sing, that's like
That's a
the
bet.
talent level is next level, you know.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And that's
and I
what he
think that's where
has.
he has a lot of people beat.
Well, you know what
So
Dr. Umar Johnson said that he was trying to get his what that's called his right.
Royalty.
Yeah, his royalty. It's not royalty. It's this after so many years you get it's like your rights to your music or something like that. I can't think of it right now.
oh yeah. Like after
Yeah, and that
25 years or something like
yeah,
that.
that started all that crap.
Masters.
His masters.
Masters.
Yeah, he wanted his Whitney wanted hers. He wanted his. Prince wanted his. And all of a sudden now they're in trouble. So.
Yeah. And but that's kind
Mhm.
of my thing too though, where I kind of what's kind of frustrating with R. Kelly is that he didn't have that kind of stuff on lock. He kind of just had people around him that were, oh, I'll take care of it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna do this, and he wasn't staying on top of business. Because even now, like you have a lot of artists, like
yeah,
even Justin Bieber. Recently, I'm sure you know who Justin Bieber is. He sold
yeah.
his masters for I think 200 million.
Right. And that he got some internal strife going on within himself, but they
Yeah.
ain't
Right,
trying to take him out. You know what I'm saying? They ain't trying to put
right,
nothing on him. But yeah,
hmm
he didn't have maybe if his mom had still been living, somebody who can guide him, what I'm
right,
saying, who
right.
truly loved him for who he was and not for his money. That would made all the
Exactly.
difference. That would
I
made all the
agree.
difference. Some good direction. Yeah. But he
Yeah,
was
because
so
if you don't have
sweethearted
someone,
and he
yeah,
stayed in the hood, and that's where he made
hmm
his mistake at.
that's where he made a mistake. Yeah, because you can't. I
Mhm.
mean,
The
unfortunately,
wood.
that's just how it is. Once you get out of it, you're not supposed to stay in it. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
not
saying?
quite the
It's
way he did it. Yeah.
yeah, like he kind of was
Mhm.
just there every day, and it's one thing to go visit your family or shoot a video or something like that, but you
Yeah.
can't just be there every day
Right.
because you
Exactly.
elevated
He
out of
felt
that.
comfortable.
You
He
know?
felt comfortable, but he had
Right,
people that was against him, even
right,
his
right.
family.
Like he didn't even mess with a lot of the industry people. I remember people around him said, "Oh no, he don't have." Even in his interviews, he's like, "I don't deal with nobody from the industry." He
Yeah,
wasn't hanging
he
out with
didn't like
Jay
that
Z and all
lifestyle.
these people. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was he was to himself. And
Yeah. Well, you know what?
it's unfortunate, but
He probably seen all the devilish activities and what goes on in those type of industries, and he probably trying to stay away from it, but at the same time, it wasn't great where he was at. So he learned
right.
something. God set him down for a reason.
hmm
I believe R. Kelly's
Sometimes
a
you
good
have to.
person. Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes that's what has to happen just to get a clearer head. I think he'll be out before he's not going to serve his full sentence. I
I
don't
hope
believe,
not. Hopefully this
but
court thing will be a positive outcome.
right, right.
That's what I'm hoping for him. And I think he'll
Yeah.
come out and do it just like how Kanye. You see what he don't did. He went and made $30 million all on his own.
Oh yeah. Yep. And I was what's crazy is he was out here in LA. He did a random pop-ups, two pop-up shows
Yeah.
in LA at Sci-Fi,
Yeah.
and he made $33 million in
Yeah.
off two shows. Two
Sure
shows.
did, didn't
And
he?
they
Didn't
canceled him. They canceled him in the
he?
UK. He had
UK.
he
Yeah.
was headlining a festival,
Yeah.
and some people tried to cancel him, and he was like, man, it's crazy. But when you're
He,
that big,
yeah.
as far as when you're bigger than the program, you don't need sponsors because
Well,
you have real
that's what they
fans, you
learning.
know?
That's what they learning now. They learning that they don't need to be the sponsor and promotion.
Right.
They can keep all the proceedings, the hard work that they put into what they do. You know, no,
Yep.
it's not no locusts grabbing and taking everything from them. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly. Same thing
heck
with
goes
Chris
off to
Brown.
Kanye.
Same thing with Chris Brown. I went to two of his concerts back in 2025, in September
Yeah.
2025, and then October I went in Vegas and then in LA. And same thing with him. He grossed his tour gross, I think it was 300 million. He had not one sponsor, Chris Brown.
And it's not
And
surprising.
I love that.
They got to know how. They got to know
Right.
how.
Hmm.
It's not
You
really
have to.
surprising that it happened. It's just that they learn the industry and they learn how to maneuver, you know. So
Yep.
heart goes out to Mr. Kelly, and I just wish him all the luck. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
no doubt.
appreciate your conversation, young man.
Yeah, you as well. You as well, man. It was nice
Yes,
meeting you.
yes, sir. You as well. Miss
Thank
Sylvia, thank you for allowing us to use your platform.
You're welcome. You're welcome, y'all. I'm
And if
about
anybody out there, hello, everybody.
thank you for coming up, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no
Absolutely.
doubt, Sylvia. Anytime.
I'll see you on the 17th.
All right. See you guys later.
All
All
righty
right,
then.
Sylvia. Yeah, have a
Bye.
blessed night.
Okay,
You
bye.
as well. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for watching the infamous Sylvia channel, where laughter and fun make up our panel. Together we build this digital spree. We appreciate you and our growing family. With mods by our side and chat flowing free in this online space. It's just you and me, we laugh until tears roll down like the rain. In this virtual world, you ease all my pains. We're family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We cherish the moments, the highs and lows, from the latest gossip to stories untold. You're more than a viewer, you're part of the crew in this space of ours. It's all because of you. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign, enjoys what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. this digital world where emotion is shared. Every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign, enjoys what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Minds in check, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night.